here's the first question. According to the Bible, which day did God bless and sanctify, and which day in the Bible is called the Lord's Day? Well, I can answer biblically very clearly with Scripture. There's no doubt whatsoever that the seventh day Sabbath is the day that God blessed and sanctified. And there's no doubt biblically that the Sabbath is the Lord's Day. You say, where in the Bible do we find this? Let's read several verses. Genesis chapter 2 and verses 2 and 3. Genesis 2 verses 2 and 3. It's explicit. By the way, somebody might say, well, you know, the Sabbath was made for the Jews, and the Sabbath was made to point forward to Jesus, who was going to die on the cross, and He was going to be our rest. The fact is, what I'm going to read now actually is describing something that existed before there was any Jew. Before there was any sin, there was no need of any cross. There was no need of redemption. It's part of God's original plan. Genesis 2, 2 and 3. And on the seventh day, God ended His work which He had done. And He rested on the seventh day from all His work which He had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it He rested from all His work which God had created and made. 3 times it speaks of the seventh day. And we're told that God blessed and sanctified the seventh day. Is that explicit and clear enough? I mean, there's no way around it. Now let's go to the fourth commandment of God's law. Do you think the 10 commandments are still binding today? You know, some people think that they're the 10 suggestions or the 10 recommendations. The fact is that no Christian in the world today would say that the 10 commandments are no longer important. Although some churches say that the 10 commandments were nailed to the cross, and then they'll turn right around and they'll say, we need to have the 10 commandments in our courtrooms. Now, you can't talk out of both sides of your mouth. They were either nailed to the cross or they were not nailed to the cross. Period. Exodus 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. Which is the Lord's day? The seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord. See, it's a possessive, is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work. You, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested, which day? The seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. That means He made it holy. Question, which is the Lord's day according to the fourth commandment? It's the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. Which number day is it? It is the seventh day. What did God do with the seventh day Sabbath? He blessed and He what? Sanctified it. Notice Mark chapter 2, verses 27 and 28. Mark 2, 27 and 28. Let's notice who Jesus said the Lord's day is. And He said to them, the Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath. That's why the Sabbath was made after man, because it was made for the benefit of man.